Welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Blue-Red Pyromancer, Pascal Vian's deck from PT Rivals of Ixalan, and we are playing up against a Solemnity control or Solemnity deck. Basically the combo of Solemnity and Phyrexian Unlife, which basically means that your opponent can't lose the game. It's not the most exciting of games, not to spoil it or anything. The main reason I'm featuring this is that we were playing against Magic Aids, who, a slightly unfortunate name, has got their own YouTube channel, which is very good and one I'd highly recommend. A lot of good modern brews, and then other sort of standard brews and things, and a lot of good video content on that channel, so I'd highly recommend testing it out, checking it out. As far as I'm aware, he invented the 5-colour humans deck, or pretty much invented it. Certainly saw the deck first on that channel, and that's one of the biggest modern decks, or one of the biggest new modern decks to sort of come about recently. So certainly an exciting deck builder as well. So certainly one to watch out for. And as I say, plays quite a lot of interesting brews. And here we're playing a Solemnity deck. So this is our opening hand: Opt, Mana Leak, and the Thing in the Ice, and a Lightning Bolt. So yeah, pretty good, to be honest. Can't complain about that hand. Certainly got all the tools to flip a Thing in the Ice, hoping that our opponent isn't playing anything that can prevent us from doing that. So opponent leads off a Seachrome Coast into a Serum Visions. Blue-white, a bit of an unusual colour combination in Modern. I don't think there's too many blue-white decks that are running Seachrome Coast, so didn't really know what our opponent was working with. We opt here. I mean, we could have saved the opt for after we play our Thing in the Ice, but I just don't think it's a good use of our sort of mana and time. And I think we're better off just playing the opt. There's lots of cheap spells in this deck, and I think we can expect to draw into more of them, so I think it's better just to sort of optimise our draws. So here we see Ancestral Vision on top, which is pretty good. I decided to keep that. Here we're just going to cast Thing in the Ice, I think. Probably the best play. Maybe we should have left the Ancestral Vision. Kind of in two minds about that now. So the Ancestral Vision is good, and it's definitely a great card advantage once it resolves. But we don't really want to play it now, and it's going to take a while to resolve. So I don't know whether it was the right thing to do or not to keep that. Pump pass another Serum Visions. Passes back. And so we suspend the Ancestral Visions. We draw another Thing in the Ice, which we can run out, but I think we're happier just keeping up Mana Leak here. And plays Phyrexian Unlife. I'm just going to counter that here. We don't necessarily need to counter it, but it's certainly going to be frustrating. It's going to be a card that's going to sort of prevent us winning the game, and as it turns out, is one of the sort of lock pieces of the deck our opponent is playing. So we're going to run out the second Thing in the Ice and just pass the turn, keeping up either Lightning Bolt or Opt. Notably, when you flip Thing in the Ice, it only returns non-horror creatures back, so it won't bounce the other Thing in the Ice. So potentially we can flip both of these and then be looking at attacking for 14, which is obviously pretty good, and hopefully should finish off the game fairly swiftly. Well, it has a second Thing, Phyrexian Unlife, which is fine. We see a Roast, which we obviously don't want to keep. and then we draw into a Snapcaster, which is much more useful. The Braid not very useful for us. Gonna hit Serum Visions here, draw into a Lightning Bolt, and see Island Lightning Bolt. I can't remember if we keep this Lightning Bolt on top or not. It's possible that we do, because we're looking at to sort of burn out our opponent. Well, there's Ruined Halo, naming Awoken Horror. So that's a big problem for us. Our sort of main plan of beating our opponent to death with 2 flipped Thing in the Ice has somewhat backfired at this point. And then he has the Solemnity there, which certainly going to cause us problems, as he's now got the combo together, which means we can't kill our opponent in the usual way. Well, we can't really kill our opponent at all as long as those 2 enchantments stay on board. We do have answers for that though. Our primary out is a Cryptic Command. And unlike Lantern, I don't think our opponent's going to be able to prevent us from doing the necessaries. So he plays Search for Azcanta and a Bitter Blossom, which is fine. I'm going to Snapcaster Opt here, looking to try and find our Cryptic Command, which we do once the Ancestral Vision resolves. So attack 2 here with our Snapcaster Mage, just going to run out this young Pyromancer and pass the turn. Plenty of Lightning Bolts available for us. And Bitter Blossoms creates a Fairy token and casts Serum Visions. And another Ruined Halo comes down. A Lightning Bolt in response in case our opponent was looking to name Lightning Bolt with that. I'm not entirely sure what he would have been looking to name. I think he ends up naming Vendilion Click, which, as it happened, isn't in our deck. So fairly happy with that. I mean, there isn't really a lot of good choices for him at that point. We've already cast 3 Lightning Bolts, I think. Yeah, there's 2 Lightning Bolts in our graveyard, and oh no, there's 3 Lightning Bolts in our graveyard. Yeah, so we cast 3 Lightning Bolts. So I assume our opponent's probably of the opinion that we're not going to use any more Lightning Bolts, most likely. But perhaps that was the best thing he could have named, potentially, I guess, because we can Snapcast a Lightning Bolt. But as it stands, he probably feels fairly secure behind his Solemnity Phyrexian Unlife combo. However, we're actually going to be able to win here. We can Lightning Bolt the Fairy token out of the way, and then we've got 5 Power of Guys. Our opponent has no cards in hand, so we can attack him down to 0 here, fetch up the island, and then we can Cryptic Command, bounce draw, bouncing the Phyrexian Unlife, and then our opponent dies due to being on 0 life. So yeah, that works out pretty well for us. As I say, it's a slightly awkward thing to deal with a combo like that. If he had multiple copies of both the enchantments, I suppose we would have struggled with that. But as it stands, we were able to get him below 0. Well, get him to 0 actually, get him to exactly 0, and then bounce the Unlife. Certainly Cryptic Command is not something their deck is well equipped to deal with, so that's really the sort of key card for this matchup, I guess. If you can't kill them before they get the combo down, and our deck's not particularly fast, so I suppose it is always likely that they are able to do so. So at that point, we're really just searching for Cryptic Command, and we managed to find it and pick up the win in game 1. So looking at our sideboard options for this matchup, we definitely want to take out Roasts. Not particularly good. Braid again. His deck seems to be enchantment focused rather than artifact focused, so I don't think that does anything. Electrolyze again, not particularly good, but at least it draws with a card and deals some damage. So yeah, Spell Snare again, another card that's not particularly good. Seems the deck's mostly based around 3 mana enchantments. So the cards we want to bring in, Negate, I guess, Vendilion Click, most probably, and then after that it's a little bit tricky. Dispel doesn't do a whole lot. Generous Redaction's not the kind of card we're looking for. Disdainful Stroke might be useful, but I didn't see anything that costs more than 3 mana in his deck. So yeah, I think we probably want to be looking at maybe bringing Molten Rain, I suppose, or something that can constrain his mana or deal some damage. Kind of a tricky one. We're not particularly well set up for this matchup, I guess. But as I say, Cryptic's going to go a long way for us, and I think the main thing to do really is just try and optimise for that. So yeah, definitely taking out Braids and Roasts. Could keep in Spell Snare, but it doesn't do a great deal. But if we don't have enough cards to take out, I suppose we're probably better off with the Dispel than we are with the Spell Snare, I think. So maybe bringing that, or just Relic, I suppose, is a card that we can cycle, even though it doesn't do a great deal. So yeah, I think that's probably the strategy against this style of enchantment-focused deck. As I say, we're not badly set up against it in the main deck, but we do have some cards that are fairly dead. So definitely want to bring in Negate. Click seems good as a way of disrupting their combo, and it's just a good attacker. And then it's really your choice about what you bring after that. Electrolyze, I suppose, is never really a bad card. Bring in Relic if you feel like you've got too many dead cards in your deck. And I think that's probably the way to go about it. Okay, here we are, game 2. So here's our opening hand. We have Opt, Thing in the Ice, Young Pyromancer, and a couple of counter spells. So yeah, that looks pretty good for us, I'd say. Leads off with Serum Visions. Let's pass the turn, probably looking to Opt end of turn. But the Thought seizes us taking Mana Leak, which is fine. Get a Steam Vents, and then we're going to Opt, bottoming that land and drawing into a Lightning Bolt. Going to cast a Young Pyromancer, I think. We just want to kill our opponent as fast as possible, and this is the quickest way to do it. Certainly the faster card of the of them, and also a lot more resilient to a Ruined Halo, which we see here. So yeah, that makes our Thing in the Ice not so great, but fortunately it's not very effective against Young Pyromancer and the tokens it generates. So we passed our turn here. Opponent's going to Detention Sphere. I think we're just going to remand that, make a token, and then yeah, I mean that obviously increases the amount of power we've got on the board. Stalls our opponent, who seems to be sort of light on cheap removal spells, and obviously speeds up our clock quite considerably and gives us some decent value out of the Young Pyromancer. Bolt end of turn gives us, again, increases our clock, gives us another elemental. So we're down to 9. Gonna play the Steam Vents here, attack for 4, power opponent down to 5, and we've got Vendilion Click, which we could do on the draw step. I actually prefer holding up mana leak here. So I could have Vendilion Clicked, but I think we're probably better off just holding up mana leak. Punk has Detention Sphere, which I'm just going to mana leak, and that gets us to enough power that we can kill next turn on the backswing. Maybe we should have let the Detention Sphere go. I suppose potentially our opponent could have something more frightening to follow it up with. Turns out we had Death Shadow, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm very confused about his deck, but they're certainly very interesting. So Death Shadow means that our opponent isn't just dead, but he can't really get through our guys as it stands. And we're going to be able to Vendilion Click on his draw step. See Solemnity and Marsh Flats. Solemnity doesn't do anything on its own, so I'm more than happy for him to keep that with the intention that I'm going to attack next turn and finish off our opponent. Because he can only block one creature, and then we'll get through for 6 damage. So yeah, that would have worked out all pretty well. All in all, kind of an interesting deck, and yeah, as I say, Magic Aid's got a really good YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. A lot of really good stuff on there. But on this occasion, we were able to pick up the win.